I gotta get my liquid courage up in there, y'all. Hey, my YouTube booktube friends. Welcome to Redefined. If you are new here, my name is Lisa. And in today's video, I am going to be giving you guys a little wrap up of the things that I have been reading for the past 2 months. I went ahead and I put February and March together this time because I was a little behind on February and I'm trying to get ahead of it for the month of March. We are just going to go ahead and jump into this thing. So for the month of February, I read a total of about 9 books. And then for March, I think I read about 6 books. So yeah. We're just gonna try to get into them, and I'm just gonna do what I do. Okay, now this is just gonna be my second video of me sharing the books that I've read here on the channel. So you know, I'm still, you know, getting the hang of it and everything, you guys, even though I'm just talking to a camera. But I do realize that it is going to go up, and it's probably not going to reach millions of people, but it does reach people, and it's nerve-wracking, y'all. Anywho. So the first book that we are going to talk about today is Theo of Golden. Oh my gosh, you guys, my oncology nurse recommended this book to me way last year. I think in June or July. It was the last time I had my appointment, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And so I immediately went to the Libby app and I was on hold. Okay, so I have been on hold for this book for about 6 months. Yeah, no, longer than that, right? Yeah, so it's 9 months. I've been on hold for this book for about 9 months. And you guys, when I tell you, the book was worth the wait. Now, I have not heard a lot of people talk about this book in this community, but you guys, oh my God, I love this book so much. This book is going to change you for the better. This book is going to make you laugh. This book is going to make you cry. This book is going to make you smile. This book is going to make you say, oh, I didn't see that coming. But again, this book is going to change you for the better. Especially in the world that we are living in right now, the condition of the world, the state of the world. This book will bring you a kind of joy, and it'll just make you just want to be better. A love song for Ricky Wilde. Y'all, this book felt like a love letter, not just a typical romance story. Not only that, it's a book about reinvention, history, and about choosing yourself. It's soft, it's magical, it's a deeply meaning story, especially if you are in a certain time of your life. I love this story so much. It has my heart. I will never forget Ricky. I will never forget her story. The House of Eve by Sadiqa Johnson, y'all, was my next read. Y'all, I cried reading this book. This was a very, very emotional book for me. This book was set in 1950, and it follows 2 women, one in college, and well, I'm gonna say one is a young lady and the other is a teenager, trying to get out of her circumstances that she's in. She's in high school, and she's in, we're gonna say, a gifted program. That's what we call it right now. a gifted program that could help her get into college with a scholarship. And then we have the second young lady who is already in college, and she ends up getting pregnant, and she had a miscarriage. And then she really wanted a baby. She ended up hiding the fact that she had a miscarriage, and she was faking a pregnancy. You know, it's all kind of drama going on up in here. This book was a 5-star for me. It was really good. It's worth reading. The young lady's story, the high school student story, is what made me cry. They ended up sending her to this Catholic home for unwed mothers, and how they took this young lady's baby from her. Oh my God, the things that they had to go through, the things that they had to endure in that home. Y'all, it was just heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. Gone Before Goodbye by Reese Witherspoon. Now, I did talk about this book here on my channel in one of my vlogs, and this book was good to me. I don't know about anybody else, but I love this book. Only for One Week by Natasha Bishop. Y'all, this one made me mad, okay? The way the sister and the mother treated our main character, after all she is doing for the sister, even though the sister is dating her ex-boyfriend. Come on, y'all. Oh my gosh. Who does that to their sister? Who does that? But the way Roman treated Janelle, the way he made her feel like a queen, y'all, that is my book boyfriend right there. He treated her so good. And when he told her sister to apologize to her, y'all, yes. All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Crosby. I gave him a second chance, y'all, because the first book I read by this author was a good book, but I felt like it was something that we had all seen before. And I'm sticking to that, y'all. The book was good, but like I said, it was something that we've seen before. So I decided to give him another try in reading All the Sinners Bleed. Now, this was a good book, but it wasn't as fast-paced as I feel like these books should be, especially when it comes from Book Talk on TikTok, because they just love this author. With the people that are popping up on my feed, they love this author, and they're like, you gotta read this, you got All the Sinners Bleed, S.A. Crosby, da 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 da. And then I said, okay, well let me go ahead and get All the Sinners Bleed. Let me see what's happening with that. And I'm just like, this is not giving me what the reaction I'm getting from TikTok, Book Talk. You know what I mean? But anyway, like I said, I read it all the way through. I did like it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Somebody gave a rating saying that you give a book 5 stars if you cannot forget the character. And I have not forgotten about this character. I have not forgotten about this sheriff. This book is about a black sheriff in a small town. He is trying to solve a murder of, well, let me start off. I'll be trying not to give y'all all the details of the book in case you have not read the book. But if you have read the book, then you know one of his friends that he went to school with, his son was killed on the steps of the school because he went into the school and killed a teacher. And everybody in the town is like, oh my God, why did he kill this teacher? He was such a great teacher. Da da da. Come to find out, the teacher was involved in all of these killings of young African American kids, you know. And so Titus, the sheriff, is trying to find out who else is involved with these killings, because it was 3 people involved, and so he's trying to figure out who the third person was. So yeah, after reading this book, you guys, I discovered, and I mean, as soon as I got done reading this book, it was like 2 days later, I was on my Instagram feed, and I discovered that this book is going to be turned into a movie or some type of series on Netflix. And I was like, oh, okay, that's going to be interesting. I am going to watch it because I've read the book and I like to see some books come to life. But yeah, it was a good read. I'm not gonna say it was bad, but it does, the pace doesn't go like I feel like it should go when I'm reading these books. Now I do have another book on hold from S.A. Cosby in my Libby app. I do have another book on hold that I'm waiting for. I think it's called The Razor Blade of Tears. But we'll see, y'all. We'll see. Ma May by Jessica George. Now this is another book that I feel like people were saying was just really good. You got to read Ma May. It was like on the Goodreads, I think one of the top somethings on the Goodreads list. And so okay, I said, okay, let me read Ma May and see what Ma May is all about. It wasn't catching my interest, y'all. I did read the whole book, but I don't know. I just felt like it was a little boring for me. And again, you guys, this is just me giving my thoughts on these books, okay? I really just want to share my thoughts and views on some of these books that people are saying that are so good, and what people are giving their recommendations. And I want to reach an audience like myself, of women who are a particular age. So yeah, don't think of me as somebody that's trying to be this super huge booktuber, you know, trying to get arcs and all of these type of things. You know, I'm just here to have fun and just give my thoughts and opinions, like I said. Now, as I was, and everything, you guys, is not for everybody. Everybody opinions are different when it comes to books and all of these things. So anywho, like I said, I felt the book was a little bit boring for my taste, okay? But this book follows a young lady who has been taking care of her father. She's just a young lady just trying to come of age, just trying to find her way in the world. Just being a young lady. Like I said, her father died. Her mom was cheating on the father for all of these years. She has a brother who didn't help taking care of the father. I mean, it was just all kind of things going on in the book. She ended up moving out of her flat, I guess they call them in England, because it does take place in England. And she moves in with roommates because everybody keeps telling her that she needs to be young and go out and have fun. She ends up falling for, or not falling for, she ends up meeting a person who she gives her virginity to, and that person is also seeing somebody else of another race. And you know, just all kind of things was going on in the book for me. So yeah, it was okay for me. It was an okay for me on Mommy. James Baldwin, If Beale Street Could Talk. Now this book is a classic, so I'm really not gonna say anything else about it. But these type of books sort of I don't know, y'all. It just brings up a lot of history for me, a lot of pain, a lot of just seeing how our people struggled, and it's very hurtful for me. I'm not gonna even talk about it, but it was it was a good book. It was a good book, y'all, but it's the struggle, you know. I hate to see stuff like that, you know. I hate reading about stuff like that and watching movies and things about stuff like that, because it's just hard to just kind of relive the past like that, y'all. All right, you guys, so that was everything that I read in February. We're going to go ahead and move on to March, and we are starting with Plus Size Player by Danielle Allen. Now, I have read 2 or 3 other books by Danielle Allen, and I really love those books. I enjoyed those books. Now, this book was good, y'all, but it was too steamy for me. The language in the book was just too much for me. I did enjoy the love story between the guy that she finally chose. Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Now, I was listening to this along with reading While the Wildflowers Grow when I was on vacation, but I did not share the fact that I was listening to this book. But I did listen to this book on audio while I was down there, while I was standing in line and all of the things at Universal Studios. And this was a really fun book. I liked it. I love the storyline. And I felt like it was a really good book. And from Book Lovers, we're going to jump into The Street by Ann Petrie. Y'all, this book made me mad. This book made me so mad, y'all. The audacity of the men in this book to just assume that this lady, Letty, to assume that she even wanted to be with any one of them. The audacity of the super of all the people to assume that if he got rid of his woman, that she was just going to jump in and want to move into the apartment with him. The thoughts that were going through his mind of Ludi, y'all, I was like, oh my God. Yeah, oh, this book, I'm telling y'all, this book made me so mad. It made me so angry. And then you had the other two, the musician and the rich white guy. Okay, what makes y'all think that this woman just wants to be with y'all? Just, it was making me so mad. But you guys know what? I knew when Ludi got in that car, I said, I said, that is going to be the end of Ludi. Anywho, this story is about Ludi, and Ludi is trying her best to just succeed, just to help her son. She wants her son to be somebody and not be living in these streets that she is living on. This took place in the streets of Harlem back in 1940. Again, you guys, where, you know, we were just struggling, just trying to come up. And that's all Ludi wanted to do. Ludi wanted to be better. She wanted to succeed. She wanted to make it. But the streets just kept pulling her in, kept pulling her back. These men that just wanted her was pulling her back and pulling her in. And she just could not make it in those streets, y'all. And how this book ended just really upset me, because she wanted so bad for her son to have better. And how the book ended, it just, why Ludi? Why? From the street we went to, Blood and Root by Ladarian Harris. This is a young A book, you guys. So I've read about 2 to 3 young A books, you guys, and these characters in these books, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, they get on my nerves. Always questioning things, always this, why this, why that, where's my mom, this. I'm just like, can y'all listen? Can you listen and just do what the people are trying to tell you what to do? They just trying to help you. Anywho. So this book follows a teenager on the run from the past, finds a family he never knew existed and the community he never knew he needed, and an HBCU for the young, black, and magical. Enroll in this fresh fantasy debut with the emotional power of Legend-born and redefined ancestral magic of Lovecraft Country. Now, I don't know about Lovecraft Country, but I do think this is a mix of Legend-born. This is a mix of Amari. This is a mix of a little bit of Harry Potter. All the things, except we have a black boy character. Now, like I said, he was getting on my nerves. And that's really all I'm going to say about that. There are 2 other books in this series. I don't know if I'm going to read them. I might read them just to find out what's going to happen, or if anything good is going to happen, but I don't know. I don't know, you guys. Keeper of Lost Children by Sadiqa Johnson. Y'all, this was another historical fiction book, and I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. But the baby in this book, y'all, I cried again. I cried for the baby in this book. Reading this book, it starts off with 3 characters, and that's Sophia, that's the baby in the book, well, the young lady in the book. And then we jump into Ozzy, and then we jump into Ethel. And Ethel is in Germany, and I think it takes place in like 1945 or 46, somewhere in that lines it starts. So it starts Ethel there, and then it starts with Sophia in it's either 1950 or 1960. It's like 15 years. It's 15 years in between the years going between the books. So we have Sophia in I'm gonna say 1956, you guys. And then you have Ethel in 1943 or something like that. And then you have Ozzy also in 1943 and 44. And it jumps between the 3 characters, each one telling their story. And so Sophia works on a farm with her family. She has 3 brothers. And y'all, they work her like a workaholic, okay? She ends up going to this school where she got a scholarship, and she meets a young man who is from Germany and was adopted into an American family. Now, Ozzy is a young man who went off in the army and was shipped over into Germany, and he met a young lady, one of the German women, keeps him company, and she ends up getting pregnant, and she isn't able to keep the baby under certain circumstances. And then you have Ethel, who is a officer's wife who cannot have baby of her own, and she ends up seeing these little brown babies with nuns, and she asks like, what is happening with these little babies? And she finds out that these babies have been given up to the orphanage because the moms cannot keep the babies. All 3 of these characters, their stories intertwine in a way that is beautiful but heartbreaking and happy all at the same time. This book made me cry, and I am never going to forget Sophia, Ozzy, and Ethel. And the last book that I want to share with you guys that I read here in March is Immortal Dark by Taijist Girma. Now, I am still reading this, y'all, but I am about to DNF this book because I'm just really not getting into it. I did see somebody post about this book on TikTok, and they said that it was just really, really good and that you just had to read it. It's just not catching my attention, y'all. Anywho, did you guys read any of those books? Do you have any of those books in your collections? What did you read for the month of February and March? Now, if you are new here and you enjoyed today's video, I would really love to have you join our little booktube family. I am a new channel. I am growing. Well, I'm growing a little bit. It's okay, you guys. Like I said, we are giving ourselves to the end of this year, and if nothing happens, if we don't get to a certain number by the end of this year, then we can call it a wrap. Or if I want to keep going, I'll just keep going. I love doing this. I love having fun here on YouTube and sharing my little opinions about the books that I am reading. But yeah, y'all, I hope you enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoyed making today's video for you. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope whenever you are viewing today's video that you are having a great day and a great week. And I will talk to you in the next video. Happy reading, y'all.